Welcome back to Champion News Talk Radio, brought to you by championnews.net. Today, our guest is Bruno Behrend, and we're talking about this unsustainable system, Jack. And you were saying something about big problems.
That's it. What bothers me is you got the state here, state of Illinois is in the biggest bankrupt situation of any of the states. If we're deeper in debt than even California. Not quite as wide, but Illinois is the most busted state of all. Mm-hmm. We're also got the reputation of being the most crooked state. I mean, even the Abyssinian goat herders realize that
Chicago,
yes, Illinois
Chicago
and Chicago is the most corrupt place, and certainly the voting thing is corrupt, and all the rest is corrupt. And it is because the teachers' union has taken the dues from the teachers, and the Supreme Court ruling says in the Hudson decision that over 80% of the dues that the teachers are paying is going for nothing but the political ambitions of the teacher unions, like mainly the IEA, which is plainly on a big socialist course, and they take all of that money from the teachers, and 80% of it, totaling $50 million a year, is going to be fed back into largely the Democratic Party, and largely Mike Madigan, who is doing all this crazy stuff like issuing $3.7 billion of bonds to pay off the crazy pensions at the top end of $200,000 and $300,000 a year.
Yeah.
So he's plainly sucking along. This powerful guy is totally in debt to the teacher unions for the rottenness he's doing. But what the fact of the matter is that these outfits downtown in Chicago, the business groups, will leave their names out of it so not to embarrass the guilty. But they've got an amelioration of the school problem, and they come up with solutions like, well, we're going to have to change it so that we got 501c3s for 401c3s and so forth for the
401ks.
401ks,
for the ones that are just starting, but they're neglecting this whole bunch of.
It's putting a Band-Aid. Right. It's putting a Band-Aid on a.
It's an amelioration. It's a Band-Aid. It's a nothing compared to the size of the problem. When you got problems of crookedness and bankruptcy like Illinois has, you got to have some big fixes for it.
Solutions for the incestuous relationship between the Democratic leadership and the unions.
You got Dan Pantlack, who is in the Cook County Board of Appeals, which covers a third of Cook County, and you got a guy named Morrison.
Sean Morrison.
Sean Morrison, and this Sean Morrison is putting a bunch of ads on that are a bunch of lies about what Pantlack is doing. I've known Pantlack for 20 years, and there isn't a public official that has got less baloney in him and more hard work than Pantlack. And this Morrison guy there's all kinds of scandals behind him. He never should be running for that job, and he shouldn't have been appointed by SIG, the chairman in Cook County, Republican chairman, appointed SIG to an important job. He never should have done that, because this Morrison is a creep that is trying to ruin the reputation with a bunch of lies. Pantlack is a good guy, and the Cook County Board of Appeals is what he really understands, really doing an excellent job.
Bruno, thank you for joining us today. A couple quick words from you before we sign
quick word
off.
is this. First of all, I'm at the Heartland Institute. It's a fantastic organization that puts out a lot of information on education reform and all kinds of other things. Second thing is, the most important issue in the next few weeks is to call your senators and get that property tax freeze passed.
SB 2073. That's going to wrap up another great edition of Champion News Talk Radio, brought to you by championnews.net. Your choice for the conservative voice.